Hey, what's up everybody? It's Kobe from KK Trucking. Today we're gonna do a breakdown of what it looks like to buy a new truck. It's another truck I bought cash just recently. We just loaded it today from our first run. This truck is actually my 5th truck that I'll be running. I purchased 7, I've sold 1, and then I had 1 get into an accident, got paid out. So it's my 7th truck, but it's my 5th truck that I have currently. We're just gonna do a breakdown on what it looks like to get a truck, things to look for when you're about to purchase a truck or right after. And if you don't have a mechanic to look at the time, just things to pay attention to make sure you're getting a good deal. I got a truck heading out right now. We picked up a little while ago going to PA, so truck's finna depart, but we're gonna get into this breakdown. So when I'm looking for a truck, deciding if I'm gonna buy a truck or not, whether it's finance, cash is my thing that I'm doing nowadays. But beyond that, I'm looking at multiple things. So I'm looking at the year of the truck, the miles on the truck, the size of the truck, make sure it's 26 feet or 24 feet, where it came from. The reason being is you might get a truck in the East Coast and it might have a lot of rust on it and kind of deteriorate some of the parts on the truck. So I'm looking at the rust, if it has any, and I'm looking at maintenance records. Starting off, it's a truck I bought out of Vegas from somebody I know, kind of like a Facebook Marketplace purchase, even though I actually know the owner and I know the upkeep he's had with his trucks. As you can see, the tires have been kept in good condition, obviously clean, but beyond that has good tread. So you want to look at tread when you're looking at tires. You want to be able to fit a quarter inside the tread length. So I still have legal operating tread for the tires, but good shape on those. And then another thing you want to look at when you get in the truck is the height of the truck. So this truck is 13.1. I look at height because you want to be able to have a taller truck for better dimensions when you hauling loads. So anybody can put a pallet in the truck or put something that can lay down, but you want to have something that can be tall, just have different sizes that can fit in the truck. So a tall truck is important for me. A lot of my shipments are taller shipments, and I gotta make sure that I can haul them without issues. Before we look at the cab, one thing is having dual tanks. So you wanna always have either dual tanks or one big tank. So I have 2 50s on this truck, so I got 100 gallons total. Some trucks have one long tank, which is an 80-gallon tank, or 90 or 70 potentially. But if you have a truck that's just one 50-gallon tank, you're gonna be stopping a lot of times, and you're gonna have to fill up in a lot of places you don't wanna fill up at. So I always try to get a dual tank or just a long tank if you can. Another thing you wanna look at, you wanna try to get a bench seat when you're getting a truck too, just in case you do sleep inside the truck and or just want to take a nap. When you have the separate seats, bucket seats, it's harder to be able to take a nap if you need to. Bench seats help a lot, and then also it has storage underneath so you can put things that you need to. And the bench seats for that, you want to get a truck that has a clean inside, just making sure that the owner kept it up so you don't see a bunch of holes, stuff like that, and yeah, things of that nature. For people that has been watching my content, they know I buy Freightliner M2 106s, the non-CDL box trucks for Freightliners. There's other models you can get, but those are my favorite trucks to get. Trucks that have a Cummins engine and an Allison transmission. Allisons are just good combos. They're one of the best engines you can get, and mechanics work on them just anywhere in the country. And just me personally, I've had the best success with these engines. I haven't had an engine go out on me to this point with the 7 trucks I've been a part of and the 5 trucks I have now. And my truck that has 687,000 miles on it and just still hasn't went out, still runs good. Still runs great, to be honest. I haven't had to replace a transmission, nothing like that. I mean, that's almost 700,000 miles without having to put another 10 grand to replace everything. So that's a bargain deal if you ask me, because once I put 10, 15 into the engine overall and the transmission at the same time, that's another 500,000 miles I'm gonna run with the truck. So smartly, of course. This was replaced not too long ago, so obviously it's pretty clean, but I'm looking at things like hoses. So I'm making sure these hoses are not brittle. They don't look like they're falling apart. I'll go through all the hoses when I'm looking, at the truck. Obviously the AC, making sure I don't have to replace AC right away, is running in good shape. So I'll look at the compressor, the condenser, stuff like that. Something else I'll look at is the radiator. So I want to check the radiator, make sure there's no cracks. If I'm finding cracks, then that means that it's basically break down. Anytime you get in a truck, you want to make sure there's no cracks in the radiator, whether it's used or new. Just want to make sure, obviously I'm checking my fluids, I'm checking, like I said, the hoses on it, just make sure all my hoses are good. Power steering box is new. It was replaced before I got it. But yeah, everything on it is pretty up to date. It's clean, it's been taken care of. You can tell it's been, have engine wash. This obviously I don't purchase brand new trucks. I don't really believe in that, to be honest with you. When you're getting a truck, you want to make sure it's maintained. So you're getting a truck, whether it's used or whether it's brand new, you want to get the maintenance history, maintenance records from whoever owned the truck previously. Last time they had a DPF cleaning to make sure it's been up to date with the life of that. You want to make sure that the oil change has been done every 8 to 10,000 miles if it's going OTR. You want to make sure that, the truck has been greased, everything is being lubricated. You want to make sure if it's had an engine replacement or not, depending on the miles. You want to know, if there's any oil leaks or anything like that. This truck's been sitting and there's no oil leaks, there's no coolant leaks, anything like that. So you just want to get good maintenance history to know what's been done, what hasn't been done, and things that do go out on trucks like DPF, an engine, transmission, doing transmission flushes, stuff like that. You want to make sure that things are up to date with that. So when getting a box truck too, you can get a truck that has spring suspension, or you can get a truck that has air suspension. So there's a difference between air brakes and an air suspension. Every box truck that's going to be a commercial truck for the most part is going to have air brakes, but not all box trucks have air suspension. What that means is you're going to have your airbags under here. Typically you can lower the truck when you're docking and say they need the truck lowered. And then also it's just a cleaner ride. You know, if you're working with delicate freight, a shipper or a broker may ask you to have a truck that has air suspension so that, you know, everything is cleaner, smoother on the ride. That makes sense. The freight I do, they do want air suspension 9 times out of 10. So that's something to look for. It's not something that has to be had. You can put air suspension on the truck if you need to add it, but if it doesn't have it already, don't think that you have to have air suspension. Personally, I just like to get trucks with air suspension to be able to haul different type of shipments if it's requested. This is actually the first run I'm doing in this truck since I got it. I bought it like 2 weeks ago, but I haven't been able to run it. I've been doing different things and then just run other loads myself. We're loaded, you know, my trucks are sealed. I always throw a master lock on it, a thick one too. You need a thick John, you know what I'm saying? Frozen peanut butter John, you know what I'm saying? But I always throw locks on my trucks, so I can't open it, but very clean inside, has 2 E-track rows, everything like that. And then truck's 13. I believe we're about 90, 95, 96 at the door, you know, good height. So you wanna make sure the lift gate works. This lift gate is smaller than ones that I would like personally. It's still a Maxon lift gate, so it works well. I like a lift gate that's a little bigger, but still it's gonna work, it's gonna do its job. It's obviously a little rusty, but it's a used truck, it's been ran. Everything runs on it great. But yeah, wanna make sure you have a working lift gate and a Maxon lift gate if you can have it too. Maxon is probably the best lift gate that you can get. If you wanna just check it out. You wanna try to get a Maxon lift gate. It's not a requirement, but you wanna be able to have a lift gate. Like I said, Maxon, because a lot of shops work on Maxon lift gates. There's other lift gates you can get, but they might not have the parts for it. So you wanna have the things that people have the most parts for, so that if they do break down, you're just good to go. I've had situations, I've seen drivers, their lift gate's messed up, but they have another brand, and the lift gate shop they go to, they don't have parts for that lift gate. So then I have to order them, and it may take some time. Then they're faced with the decision of sitting their truck there till they get the parts, or trying to find it on eBay or something like that. Just a bunch of different reasons why they can't get the job done, when it's like, we need to get stuff fixed quickly so that we can move on to the next. Sitting truck, idling truck, don't make no money. Spend the money, get it fixed, keep it moving. You know, we're making money every day. So yeah, again, my name is Kobe. I operate box trucks and I run freight across the states. But for me to do that, I need trucks like this to be able to make that happen. So there's many places you can buy the trucks, spend that time financing and learning your trucks and learning how to work on your trucks. What's a good truck to buy and everything that goes into that. So watch videos like that, but just spend time. Don't just go off of someone's word all the time. You know, you don't have to do the oil changes yourself, but when you're there, you know, ask what's this, what's that? Why do you do that? Why is it this many gallons? Just different things. I've done that. I put the time in. That's why we continue to make money. You know, that's why, you know, I'm able to buy more trucks and buy them cash and just, you know, rinse and repeat at this point. Keep tapping in. Check out the blueprint for how to get into the business. Make sure you follow me on Instagram to see the content we're putting out on a daily basis and everything that goes into that. I'm a simple guy. I just like working. I like making money. And I like, you know, teaching people how to do the things that I'm doing and providing value. So I aspire for excellence. So if you can't, you know, put forth that effort and energy, then, you know, just keep watching from afar, you know what I'm saying? So